Is anything true? So, what is the definition of true? If something is true, it is in accordance with fact or reality, implying reality is indeed true. But the truth is it possible? Me wearing clothes isn't true. Is it possible? I'm not wearing clothes. I may be naked, and that's not a metaphor to suggest I don't have armor. Now, the way I see it is, reality, the full reality, is true, but our perception of life, of reality as we know it, what we see may not be true, and that's because we don't perceive the full reality, and what we allegedly know may in fact be false. For example, you may step outside your front window and observe a tree of wisdom, but in fact, that tree of wisdom may not even exist, because it may in fact be a 10-dimensional object. That would imply observing the tree of wisdom is indeed false, because we are not capable of perceiving the full reality and observing the 10-dimensional object present. However, we cannot refute the existence of the tree, because by that logic, if we can't perceive this 10-dimensional object, we can't then perceive whether the tree doesn't exist. From our perspective, we observe the tree and assume its existence is indeed true. But you may think, well, it's possible the tree doesn't exist. But then again, it seems possible it does exist. So how can you argue against it without any empirical evidence? Because you would lack the understanding, unless you have a superior understanding to all humans on the planet, or most humans at least. And it's also possible this is the full reality, because this is what we perceive as reality. This is what we know in the world and throughout existence. Of course, from my perspective, I think it's likely this isn't the full reality, because we can't really perceive everything within our own reality yet. For example, we haven't really discovered all of the observable universe, and we haven't explored fully the universe as well, because we're still looking at the observable universe. We haven't actually reached any kind of boundary within the universe as we know it, and we haven't for sure got a fundamental understanding of the universe yet. We haven't developed a theory of everything, as Stephen Hawking would say. And so to uncover the full reality, we would first have to fully understand our own universe and the way we exist now to advance to the next stage, implying this may not be the full reality, implying that tree may indeed be false. So you may feel inclined, the next time someone says, I'm wearing a red top, or I observe a tree of wisdom full of many pears, you may feel inclined to say, there is no tree there, and you are not wearing this red top, because they are false. Even though I've never heard anyone actually think like that before, or talk about it in that way, it's still possible you might. And from my perspective, I don't think we should do that right now, because evolution is an ongoing process. We go one step at a time. You can't just skip a load of steps and go from the step you're on, maybe step number 20 to step number 50. Because even if you think, well, I can just, if I run up the stairs, I can start in step 2 and then jump to step 4, step 5, or step 6. You think you can skip 4 steps, but the truth is you still have to exceed the steps to get to the one above it, implying you can't just skip them. You still have to surpass them. You have to go over them, implying you have to be in their vicinity to get past them. It's just like trying to jump over a shadow. You still touch it as you're jumping over it. You might as well just walk across it. So from that perspective, evolution is one step at a time, and by that logic, everything is true. In which case, there isn't much problem with me saying, remain tenacious and exhibit freedom.